Alright, so a couple people have asked, well, let's start this off, let's get that going. But a couple people have asked how to scale their drawing, make it fit on either a 9 by 11 or letter sized, legal size, tabloid size, or if you're using a plotter, which would be able to print anything larger than that. You're looking at your blueprint sizes, 36 by 24. And so forth and so on, using Realtime or UVision. So I figured it'd be a good opportunity to go ahead and start something I've been wanting to do, and that's a start to finish project, basically from inception of meeting with the customer all the way to permitting. And when I say permitting, what I mean by that is doing dimensions, call out, stuff like that. I'm not going to go through the individual permitting on each particular job because each city, each municipality is different, and for me to know what each individual city is going to do is next to impossible. But I'll be able to give you a general idea, and you'll be able to do that. So that project that we're going to be working on is a customer that I recently met with, and he had we had some winter storm damage here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And he had some dead bushes come up, you can see there, and along the side here. But that's really not what we're going to be focusing on. That'll be part of the project, so I want you guys to know it. But he lives in an HOA that this wrought iron fence is here. And back beyond here, he's got a pool. He wants to be able to block the view, because he cannot put a wood fence up here. HOA will not let him. So he's got to be able to screen this somehow. So we're going to put in a patio cover here. And it's going to be an attached patio cover, solid roof. And then there's also going to be a stoned-in kitchen right here. So I'm going to show you guys how to do all that. And as you can see, there is an elevation here. I don't know exactly what the elevation is, but I'm going to show you how to get pretty close and how we're going to accomplish getting that look of the elevation. As many of you know, elevations is a pain, and I'm just going to go through these pictures real fast so you guys get a general idea of it. And hopefully you're seeing a screen on your lower right hand corner, because if not, I'm probably not going to go back through and redo this video. But as you can see, we're going to scroll through these pictures right here to see kind of what we're going to be working with. We're going to keep all that stone in there. Most of the shrubs are going to go. We're going to keep these shrubs against the neighbor's fence. Well, we're going to keep those hollies anyway. Grasses are going to stay. This hibiscus is going to go away. This river rock is going to go away. As you can tell, he has not been maintaining it properly. All this will end up going away. That patio is going to come out here. I'll just go through these pictures so you guys can kind of see what we're going to be dealing with. We're going to bring the level of this soil up a little bit. We do have a little bit of utilities back here. And so I'm going to show you guys how to build the pool also. And I guess while we're scrolling through these pictures real fast, in no way, shape, form, or fashion am I associated with Realtime UVision Idea Spectrum. I'm not promoted by them. I'm not paid by them. Although if they want to go ahead and send me the newest copy, by all means, I will go ahead and keep on making these videos, and that'll be using the most recent software. The software that you're going to see me using is 2018. 2020 didn't seem like a good enough jump for me. From what I've heard, though, 2021 is going to be a really good version. I just hope that my PC will be able to handle it. But I've heard that it's going to be really good and worthwhile. Now you can kind of see here how that elevation is. And I did stick my ruler over there to take a picture of it. And this is actually going to be how we are going to be getting our grade. Because I will, yes, correct, that's the right term, how we're going to be getting our grade, because I know the distance from the neighbor's wall, which is back here, to this wall. I know what that distance is, and this concrete is, we're going to call it level with the concrete that's up here. So it will be this run versus this rise, and mathematically that will give me the fall. hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, it will make more sense when I get to doing it and show you the math on there. And there you can see so that's a foot right there, so that's 11, so that's 10. I've got 10 inches of fall from the house to this point. And how I'm going to know this, or how I'm going to be able to calculate this, is, oh geez Louise, I'm just going to drag this picture that's sitting over here and bring it over, because there's a lot of photos. So, that tape measure is about this point right here. So when I get this survey and I bring it into Realtime or UVision, whichever program you may be using, there's the same, just labeled differently. I'll be able to measure this point to this point. This is what's called the run. And then the elevation, which was 10 inches, is called the rise. So I'll be able to tell what that grade is, and then I will I'll be able to tell what that grade is and be able to follow it all the way to the neighbor's wall. So while we've got the survey up, let's go over a couple things real fast. This red line that you see on the outside, that is the property line. That's the line on the outside. This line right here, that's got these backs, I forget what they're called. Anyway, the line right here, that is a fence, and it comes into this residence right here, which is a solid line. And you can see we've got a utility line right here. Or is that a utility line or a utility easement? Oh, I'm sorry, that's the building line. Sorry. That's the building line. What a building line is this is the street right here. So they're saying, and that is, this one's actually a little bit interesting. So what they're saying is the building has to be 10 feet, was it? 10 feet off their property line. Even though the street is out here, their property line is right here. So technically this belongs to the city. But residents still has to maintain it. So just some things, general knowledge stuff, most of you probably already know it. So property line, building has to be 10 feet off of the property line. So they're going to have it on the front and the side. They've got it over here also. This line right here is showing the house is 15.1 feet off of the property line. They're going to have it here in the front also, 10.6. They got it here as 11. So this right here is going to be the concrete that's around the pool. This is going to be the pool. This is the lot and block of the subdivision, and I've went ahead and blocked the address out and then also the details. Down here it'll say this is lot 20. This is lot 21 of block 7 of subdivision blah blah blah, located in the city town of blah blah blah, in the county of blah blah blah. This one has a couple things marked on it. The water meter, it has the AC units, has the gas meter. IRS is iron rod, I forget, iron rod something. IRF is iron rod found. That's just survey talk. That is some sort of latitude, longitude thing. The 60.40 is from this point to this point. 14.14 is this point to this point. Now, one thing to take note of, this is a picture of a survey, and I can actually tell you this is a picture of a laminated survey. The reason I know this is I can see these marks right here, and I actually saw the survey when I met out with the customer. He wouldn't let me take it though to make a copy of it. Some guys are finicky like that. Ideally, you want a true copy of the survey, one that you can hold in your hand, whether it be that they scanned it and sent it to you or you made a copy of it yourself. Several things to note. On a picture, if you take a picture of a survey, you want to get it as straight down as possible. If you shoot at an angle, some of you that are a little bit known in art, you know that the line of perspective will be different. So if I were to take a shot standing back here, this 52.8 or is it 60? We'll find out what that is later on. 60 or 53.8 will actually look longer, so it will be skewed. So you want to get it as straight down as possible. If you see small print at either the top or the bottom, that means that the survey has been faxed. Faxed as in F-A-X-E-D. So the scale will not be proper. You will have to adjust it. If you see a crease mark, the scan will be skewed also. So you will have to adjust it. There is a way. Typically, homes are printed on legal size paper, and they're done to a 20 scale. That's an average. You will see some that's done on letter size. You will see some that's done on 11 by 17 and even bigger. But the scale will be different. There is a way to mathematically reduce it down, mathematically adjust it. I don't know that formula, but thank God we've got a program that will adjust it for us. So that's just kind of the ins and outs of a survey. If you have any other questions or whatnot, go ahead and get your pens handy. You can shoot me over an email at rtubaid@gmail.com. So that is R as in real, T as in time, U as in umbrella, V as in vision, A as in apple, I as in indigo, D as in delta @gmail.com. So basically think Realtime UVision Aid @gmail.com. Just abbreviated. So we're going to move this back over to the side. And we're going to move this picture over to the side because we probably won't deal with the building the house in this video. So we're going to start a new design. So setting a scale is one of the first things that I do. First thing that I do is open it up. I go to page setup. Very first thing that I do. My boss, he wants all his stuff done in 1/8 scale. So if that means I'm printing on multiple pages, I'm printing on multiple pages. If I'm printing a letter, our printer goes up to Ledger, which is 11 by 17 or tabloid. I recommend getting a printer that can at least do that. You don't have to get a plotter, one that'll do big prints, like 24 by 17. But I would at least recommend getting a tabloid Ledger 11 by 17 capable printer. So we've set it to 1/8 equals 1 inch. So 1/8 of an inch equals 1 inch. You can do quarter, which is really easy to see. You can do 1/8 inch equals 10 feet, all the way up to 1/2 inch. And then you can get into the big stuff. 1 inch equals 20 feet is what you see most construction documents in, like for commercial properties. And I do apologize, my allergies are really bad, so every once in a while I get caught up trying to breathe. So drawing size. All the way at the top is our legal ledger. I always automatically go to Ledger. Excuse me a second. I automatically go to Ledger. Lot size, I really don't worry about that. I'm sure some of y'all do. I don't. For printer, that's my printer at the office anyway, so that's what I have it set here at. I'm at home, so that's why I'm not using my camera to record the screen. So paper, I go to Ledger 11 by 17 and auto select because it'll automatically select it. Now what you'll notice here right now in this back screen is it's got a big and then a green. Green is the paper size. If you watch here in just a second, it will change. This is what my page is going to look like. So this white page back here, my drawing area, is going to change to this. One other thing that I do is you can change portrait to landscape also. Black, white, blah, blah, blah. Use print scale. Do not print to one sheet. That will that will make your scale pointless. Use print scale. And then I click OK. Now you'll watch my paper's going to change. Now when I'm building, building the property, anything that goes off of the paper is not going to show correctly in your design. Hopefully that makes sense. So if I've got an elevation here, let's say I've got a run of 60 feet that's going across here. I'm sorry, a span of 60 feet. When my video is going, actually, you know what? We'll just do this real fast to give you guys an idea, just so it's not going to come up in this particular drawing, but I want you guys to know this because it will come into effect later on. I'm sure most of you guys already know this, but for those of us that don't. Alright, so when I go ahead and click this into perspective, this is going to rise up 10 feet, right? So one of the things to note is that it drops off. This is outside of my print area. This is outside of my print area. Come back here. This is outside of my print area. So let's say your job at an 1/8 scale is going to be bigger than that 11 by 17. We can fix that. Don't worry yet. Let's say, hey Quinn, I want some viewpoints that's gonna come down, up here, looking down at the project. Don't worry, we're gonna fix that. What you'll do is you'll just temporarily. I need to go over some other things before I before I close this video out. You're just gonna change your paper size temporarily. Now, one thing to take note of. This right here, this corner is 0, 0. Anything that goes on the X and Y axis, anything, if you want to make something larger, it's going to go larger that way to the right and larger up. Think of it of X and Y. In CAD, it's X and Y. So your X axis runs from the left to the right. The Y-axis runs from the bottom to the top. Now, with SketchUp and some of the other programs, and even in CAD, you can actually draw anywhere. This is 0, 0, so this going up would be +1, +2, +3, so forth. Going down would be -1, -2, -3. Going to the right would be +1, +2, +3. Going to the left would be negative. But in Realtime and UVision, this is 0, 0. Going up is positive. Going to the right is positive. So let's see. Let's go ahead and delete this scale. And let me see what my timestamp is. We are at 18 minutes. So let us go ahead and bring in that survey. Let's see if we can get that survey in real fast. And I can kind of show you guys a little bit better. Actually, you know what? Let me do one other thing. So we're going to go back, page setup. We're going to change this paper back to ledger. And show you guys one other little secret. So if you know your project is going to be bigger than your size of paper, let's go ahead and turn the magnets off. You'll hear me call that magnets or snaps. In CAD, it's called snaps, or I was taught for it to be called snaps. So you want to go ahead and get on that corner. This is your print view. Anything outside of here, of this dotted line, is going to be questionable. So we're going to draw a rectangle starting on that point, and we're going to go down to the lower point. And we're going to turn the transparency to 0. Line style, I'm going to go ahead and up it 1 just because my eyes are terrible, and I'm going to change this to red. And then I'm going to click OK. And while I'm at it, let me go ahead and turn plan shadows. I hate those being on. I wish there was a way to default that to being off, and somebody will probably pop on here and say, oh, there is. But alright, so now this is my 11 by 17 print. So I was telling you just a minute ago, excuse me again, I've got a cough, so let me mute my mic. Alright, so I was telling you that's your print area. So let's go ahead and change our page setup again to that larger size. Shoot. That R1 is a nice good size. So as you can see, stayed at 0, 0, but I've got another 11 by 17 here, another 11 by 17 there. So what I can do, so I know where my printing area is, I can actually bring this in and marry these up. So I know and I can be sure that I'm going to print here. So I'm sorry, let me go ahead and select both of these. And I'm going to, let's say we're dealing with a really big project. So I'm going to marry that up like that. So let's say I've got a really good sized project. And just pretend with me for just a moment. So we're going to get ready to print. We're going to page setup, ledger. So it's going to change our print page right there, as you can see. Go to OK. So as you can see, that's my print area. But my project spans all 4 of these pages. So what I'll do is I'll print right now, and it'll print this page. Then I'll go in and I'll undo all my layers, so everything's showing. I'll highlight everything. Then I'll drag this down to where these red lines match up. And I'll zoom in, get it perfected. So then I would print that page, and then I do the same thing for all 4. Another thing you want to do, and this is a lesson that was hammered in early on when I was learning CAD, is you want to do your layers. In CAD, it's called line types. So I always leave layer 1 because that's my default go-to. So add layer. So this would be survey. So I know I'm going to have that. I know I'm going to have a house. Let's go ahead and do the roof separate. Existing concrete, new concrete, so forth and so on all the way through. Then anytime you're doing something, you want to try to stay in the correct line type. I know it's not always practical, but you want to try to get into that habit. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring this survey in. Oh, shoot. So to bring in a survey, you're going to go up to Tools, Picture Import Wizard. Select Next. It's going to be an overlay. You're going to select Next, and you're going to go and you're going to find it on wherever you have it saved. And this one is going to be start to finish. So I'm going to bring that in. And we're going to click. You'll want to, when you're doing these, actually we did select picture. So that's going to give you a preview of it. Select file name. So what I recommend doing is putting in your customer's name and the date. Today is, what's today? 9/18/21. The reason I recommend doing this, let's say you get 2 Smiths. Let's say you just called it Smith, and you saved it. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and show you what it'll. Actually, I forget how to duplicate it. But let's say I call it Smith, and I bring it in, and 6 months down the road, I get another Smith, and I just bring it in, and I call it Smith, and I call it Smith again. The new Smith will override the old Smith. So then when you go back to, let's say your first Smith calls, 8 months down the road and said, hey, I want to do the work, blah, blah, blah. That picture, the overlay, has been overridden by the new Smith, so it's not going to be accurate. So always date your overlays. So this one, we're going to call it CUT 9-18 21. So get in the habit of dating your surveys. So there was a next finished in there, and we'll give it a second to get in there. So now your survey, your picture is in there, but it is not to scale. So we can go right here, and this is supposed to be 21.3. Turn our magnets off, and we can see that obviously that is not the case. So the first thing that I do whenever I bring a picture in is I will go up here to rectangle. I will set my transparency, actually. So I will find a 2 linear dimensions, a fairly good size. So here's 11.2 by 21.3. I will put myself a square in here, and I will look and see how lined up we are. So if you look at the black lines, it is pretty close. So we'll go ahead and run with this. So you'll click on your survey, and you will resize using known distance. So I will click that. I will come up here, and I will go to the middle of the house, and I'll click one left click, second left click, and I'm a little bit off, but that is 21.3, and it will explode it up for me. Now this should be pretty close. Now usually it does need some more tweaking. 21.3, it's a little bit long. Trying to fight off a cough again. 11.2, it's pretty close. Let's go ahead. You can see right here on this property line it's 90 feet. Actually, you know what we're going to use is we're going to use a square. Or I'm sorry, a rectangle. So I'm going to click right here. And the reason I'm selecting rectangle is it's going to give me a straight line. As you can see, I am somewhat off on the mass distance. And we're going to go to edit points. We can see it's 89.2. Over the course of 90 feet, that's not bad. And you know what, I'm just going to leave it at that. But I am going to rotate it. So you can rotate your image. Let's just click 5 right now so you can kind of see which direction we're going. So right now we're going counterclockwise. To go clockwise, we're going to hit -5. Negatives are clockwise. Counterclockwise are positive. So we're going to select 0.5, and that's going to get us pretty close. And we're going to change this up just a little bit. Let's see here. It's a little bit long. Sorry, guys. Still a little bit long. Maybe I should have just left it. Actually, you know what? We're just going to leave it right there. Alright, so that is how you scale it in. Go ahead and undo that. And we're going to delete this junk off of here so I can show you guys something. So I just changed transparency on my survey. And you can see this will not fit at an 1/8 scale. My property line is that red line. So let's go ahead and let's bring this in. So right now it'll fit at that corner, or I'm sorry, it's fitting at that corner, but I'm over on this side, and I'm over. Actually, the property is on the top side, so it's just on the right side. In reality, it's not going to affect anything. Where it will affect is the permitting, though. So I'm going to show you how to rescale this. Excuse me again, guys, I'm sorry. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys how to scale this so it will fit onto one page. Page setup. Right now we're on 8th scale. Quick and easy fix. You know what, but we're going to go to 1 inch equals 10 feet. Let's see what it does. And it automatically changed the drawing size, so let's change it back to ledger. And we're back again, so we're going to click OK. And as you can see, voila, it will fit on the page. Reason you'll want this is for permitting. They will want to see that complete survey. They may even want, actually, most of these will want to see that engineer's seal. So if this job were to go to contract, I would have to get a copy of this customer survey with the engineer's seal, which is going to be sitting down here. So if this job were to go to contract, I'd have to get the full copy of it. But that is how you print it all to one page, and it still be in scale. So right now I could go and I could print plan. Although my printer's not hooked up to this computer, I could just click OK and it'll print it all. So another thing you can do is you can export plan to file. This will turn it into a PDF. It will be a fairly large PDF though. One of the things, one option you can do, if you want a PDF, will keep the scale. A JPEG, like if you print to JPEG, it will not keep the scale. PDF is the only thing that will keep the scale. So if you wanted to, you go to page setup, and I think I have it on this computer. There are, I think the Microsoft XPS document is one of them that will print PDF. If not, you can just Google PDF printer, I think is what it is, and it will print to a PDF for you. So if I was stuck in a bind, I could, print this to PDF to email it to a customer, or I could do the, again, that was, geez Louise, come on, file, export plan to file. Some people have said print viewpoint, export viewpoint to file, print screenshot. Screenshot will be all of this. A viewpoint will be what you see within the screen. So those are not going to be to those are not going to be to scale. Anybody that is, in my opinion, being that we're professionals, print stuff to scale, and unless you are not wanting the customer to know the details, I could see justifying not printing to scale. But being that we're professionals, and the trend here lately has been to charging customers for designs, print to scale. I mean, there's guys out there charging good money for these plans. Print to scale. Do a good job. Don't be a jerk. Us personally, we don't charge for design, but we also don't give a plan to the customer. We don't give a plan to the customer until we've got a check in our hand, whether that be a check for the design or a check for starting the project or a completion of the project. We don't leave anything with the customer. They get a video and they get about 5 to 9 viewpoints. And what I mean by viewpoint is when I click on walkthrough, I'll take a viewpoint of a particular shot within that walkthrough, and I'll show you guys how to do all that. But we don't. That's all the customer gets. They don't get any details. We don't even give them a plant list until we create a proposal, and we don't create a proposal until they approve the design. So when I'm going through this, and let me go over to this screen real fast and bring it over here. Like I know on this job, actually this is the screen. Actually, no, it's not. I think it's the one before this. Like I know there's certain things in this job on this design that are going to be a pain in the butt for me. Like this change in elevation here and this elevation here, that's going to be funky. When my video pans around, I'm going to be looking down here. I'm not going to be looking up here, so they won't be able to see that snafu. Something else that I already know is going to be an issue is this roof line here. That's going to be complicated for me. I'm not going to show that in the video. That's another. Now, if you're charging a customer for the video and whatnot, you're charging $800, $1,200, $2,000. I've seen several $1,000s. In my opinion, you need to be doing this correctly, and you can do this with what's it called? Custom models, modeling. Where is it? Convert to custom, or building a box. That's what you guys need to be doing. I'm sorry, I'm just being blunt with you, but if you're gonna be charging that much, you're gonna need to learn how to do that stuff. I'll touch on it a little bit, but I'm not going to go into details. I'll show you how to do it when I'm doing the patio cover, and then you can figure out from there how to do that type of roof line. If you want to, if you want personal one-on-one on how to do that, you can reach out to touch base with me, and I'll teach you one-on-one. But if you're charging customers some of the fees that I've seen out there, you need to be doing it right. Like I said, we don't charge customers for our design unless we know ahead of time. And if we know ahead of time that we're going to be charging, they just say, hey, I want a design. We give them a full kit and caboodle, and they can take it to any landscape company and say, hey, I want a proposal off this plan. That landscape contractor can literally look at the set of plans, and I have every tabulation on there: square footage of mulch, square footage of turf, linear footage or facial square footage of retaining wall or stone border, square footage of concrete. On a pool, I'll give them all the depth information. Patio cover, they literally get a spec sheet of what I would give to the city. They can literally take my plans, submit them to the city. That's what we do when a customer wants a design. And if you want to be a legit landscape company that's charging for designs, I recommend you're doing the same thing. That's just my opinion. Hate me or love me, that's just me. So I'm going to wrap this video up because I am sitting at 37 minutes and 7 minutes longer than I wanted to be. So on the next video, we're going to start building the house. We're going to start by doing the elevation. Hopefully I'm feeling better and I'm not having to pause or mute the mic every couple minutes to cough. So you guys know what this project is going to be looking like. Ooh, wrong way. I'm going to be putting in the property lines, putting in the street, putting in the elevation, changing that north compass, slapping a somewhat house over here, concrete, pool, elevation, all the windows, the patio cover, and then I'll be showing you the call outs and plant details, calling those out. But probably the thing I like the most that you guys will see, and what I always think looks the neatest, is I'm going to show you how to do the blueprints for the patio cover. And I'm going to show you how almost every city in in the DFW area wants their stuff done. I have had one plan sent back to me simply because I did not put one little statement on the plan because I forgot to copy and paste it. It was just one little thing, and I looked through those plans, sent them back, and she sent them back again. So finally, I drove myself into the town, went up to her desk, and or went up to the permit tech and said, "Hey, I need to speak to blah blah blah," which was a plans examiner, and she came out and she goes, "Oh, I need to know." You're missing a statement on your roof plan. Well, what am I missing? Well, you're missing a statement. What statement am I missing? I can't tell you that. Well, I can't put it on there if I don't know what you're missing. She wanted 40-year shingles to match the house. Simple statement. I have it on every other plan. I forgot to put it on there. But that's the only plan I've ever had returned back to me. But I'm going to show you guys how to do the same thing. It's for some cities it's going to be up and beyond, over and beyond rather, what they require. Some cities may require a little bit more. Who knows? And this will also work for your HOAs also. For people that have HOAs that want certain things, this will work for them also. And we send whenever we're sending for an HOA, we send our permit package, and we send viewpoints and a link to our YouTube video, because sometimes they'll want a sample of what the color pattern will look like for the wood stain. I show them that. If for some reason they ever wanted more, we just tell them to go to our website, because most of the time the stain looks damn near the same. And as long as you're not doing, some lavender, pink, or something like that, you're gonna sail through most cities with the information and how I show you how to do it. If you want a copy of this survey, again, email me. It is rtuvaid@gmail.com. Just think Realtime UVision Aid at gmail.com. And I will send you over a copy of this survey so you can follow along with me. And also, if you want to, whenever I'm building these and we get to a next step, if you want me to archive that, I'll send that over to you. For those of you that don't know what archive is, it is a copy. I'm sitting here speaking with my hands. I'm sorry, guys. An archive is a complete copy of the job that you're working on. This is a job, not the job site, your design job. It will be everything will be included in there. All the textures, the survey, any pictures that you attach to it, any walls, the texture of the wall will all be included on that archive. So if you want a copy of that, also email me and say, hey, Quinn, send me a copy of that. Hopefully I was able to answer some questions. Again, we will be going over more. We will stick to this job. And guys, let me know if you want me to do some of these live. I don't know how well it would work, how well my computer would handle it, but I know with Zoom, you can do live stuff. It would probably be Saturday. It would be evening hours and Saturday or Sunday. But if that's something that you guys think would be beneficial, while I'm working, I've got the live going. Maybe I got it on the screen with questions or something. I don't know. Just kind of thinking outside the box here. But anyway, if that's something you guys think would be worthwhile, just let me know. And I'm way off now, 12 minutes over. I'm sorry, guys. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. And if you hate the video, sorry. You guys be safe and have fun.